Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we start a new, like a kind of a series of more like smaller lessons, smaller episodes, so to speak. And this is about practicing, about like really using practice time efficiently, and that you really also have the feeling that you really learn something, and to get more like a feeling of like practicing will be just it's just a lot more fun because you know how to do it, and you be in a way in control of this whole process, and you have the right tools to learn, and to learn new things, new movements, so this is maybe a little bit more on technique now, this kind of these upcoming lessons, and but of course there are like concepts which you just can use in generally, and it's good to just be aware of those concepts, and you might know a lot of these concepts already, but I think it's good to just also remind you, and also to later on to have this to put them all together, all these different, you can say, like practice methods to form a kind of a tool set, and then with that we can really attack like any problem which will arise in our music career. Okay, so just one note, because a lot of these things which we will speak about, I got actually from a book. I mean, many of these concepts I knew before, and of course, but I can really recommend this book, and this is the name of the book is Fundamentals of Piano Practice by Chuan C. Chang, and he wrote this book, and it's actually a free PDF. So he designed that as a free PDF which you can just download in the internet, and it's purely about like piano practice, and it's of course like purely also designed for classical music, like classical piano. And of course, when you play classical piano, you have to deal a lot with like technical issues, and that things are really sounding perfect, and you really have to internalize the material, and the material is composed, it's written down, so you have to know that. You have to. That's I think it's a large percentage of a classical musician to learn the material extremely well, and so that's a good actually a good perspective, where it becomes really very very important to have the technique and everything, that your whole like body works the way it should, and so in this context, these all these practice methods, they are in that context. So it's a really high task, or like a high goal to play this difficult classical repertoire on the piano. And so we will just benefit from that, and get these different like proven practice methods, where we can just use them and improve what we need. I mean, I'm speaking now for when I say we, maybe more for like more improvising musicians who are not too much dealing with the problem of composed music to be able to play it, but more with the idea of improvising, of playing, and then not be stumbling above like difficulties or like technical issues that we are actually able. I mean, that would be the goal, you know. The highest goal would be that we just have a certain idea and imagination what we want to do, and then we will just be able to execute that without having like any technical trouble, you know. So the technique will just be there and support us. So I think we also need a very high level of technique to come to that point. But of course, it's a bit different because we do not really have these pieces which we practice, and then these pieces actually tell us our weaknesses, you know, we play a certain piece and then we see, oh shit, I can't do that. That's difficult, and then we have to practice that because otherwise we can't play the piece. So we are in a way always like challenged, and with improvisation, it's always a little bit like you can in a way come around to certain things. If that's too difficult, you find other ways. I mean, that's also a creative process, which is actually quite good and quite important, because you will find just other things. Like, there are a lot of great jazz musicians who you can say they have, like, in some areas they're extremely good, but in other areas, you see, they're not that good. But it's also not necessary. They came up with that kind of a language, and that's more. I mean, you don't need more. Okay, but anyway, I just want to say that these things which I got here also from that book are like, I adapted that for guitar and summarized that, because in the original book, in the PDF, it's like a little bit, these informations are a little bit like spread through the whole book. I mean, at least the version I had some years ago, and now I think he also always writes new versions of that. So would be great to check. I mean, you should do that. You check his website and download his book. And but yeah, the perspective for us is, of course, like not classical music, but of course like learning, I mean, practicing our instrument and also like our technique, to improve our technique. Okay, and you have also this PDF down in the description below. You can download, and this time it's free, because also the source where I got these ideas also from, and some like a lot of text fragments, and so they really come from that book, and since he is not charging any money for that, I also don't charge any money. So it's just for free. Check it out, but also check out his book and support him, you know, I mean. All right, but of course, I mean, this is like it's not just a copy and paste thing. Yeah, I really thought about that. I really also practiced that way, and then I just stick with his with many of his ways, how he what kind of words he uses, how he can really describe this whole thing in a very good way, and it was very inspiring for me. I learned a lot from that. So I thought, why change it too much? You know, I mean, why change it because of copyright issues or something, or that I can say it's mine or whatever. I mean, if something is good, you don't need to change it. So okay, and I also have this PDF in front of me. And the first thing, this page, where this page is about, is the idea of cycling segments. That's the first technique to use, cycling segments. And what is this whole thing about? The thing is, when you have like a difficult passage, yeah, you have maybe a song, or like a whole like a certain thing you want to play on the guitar. Maybe it incorporates some techniques like slides or hammer on, pull off, or like a quick movement, tremolo movement with the right hand, or string skipping, or whatever. You have but you think of that as there's a whole passage, and normally you say, oh, that's a difficult passage. And now, what you should do now is to just take a closer look at that passage. Because normally, a passage is not completely like everything in a passage is difficult. Very often you can really reduce the difficulty of that passage to just a few notes. That is also something I'm also doing quite a lot with my students, especially when I was teaching at a music school some years ago, where I had also like a lot of beginners actually. They really, when they made a mistake, they just started from the beginning again and went to that mistake and maybe just did it again, you know. And so that's a very inefficient way of practicing. I mean, also time-wise, yeah? From the time and from concentration, because you lose a lot of time, of course, because you always practice stuff which you already know, which you already can do, and also your concentration also has to also always deal with the other notes, you know, which came before and after, and so the whole thing gets really confused. And the idea here with the cycling of segments is to really zoom in. Yeah, you really detect the challenging spot. Maybe there are more spots, so you have maybe more spots to practice separately then. But you detect that spot, and that's already like part of the practice. Yeah, to be able to understand what is difficult in a passage. Yeah, so that's a very that's already for some people it's already a challenge, but it really immediately gives you also some idea. When you know what's the problem, you also get this idea how you can maybe solve it. Yeah. So the idea is really to reduce this this passage to just the difficult spot. Yeah. And this can be really something which is really like which is really not reachable in that practice session. Yeah, maybe it's really that difficult that you just will not manage this practice session. And we will talk also about that, how we will then also approach that, and also taking different techniques, applying different methods. But for now, it's just about that small segment. And the idea of cycling is that we cycle it, that we always play it again and again and again. So we loop it. And of course, there are some segments which are not really suited too much for that, because maybe they come out of a kind of a hand-arm movement which will be not there anymore if you just practice these two notes which seem to be difficult. So in a way you have to take care that it's not too isolated from the surroundings, what you do from the other movements which came before or which come after. So so some things it's not really wise to cycle them in a way. Yeah, it's better to also include the thing what came before and then always do it again. But but cycling really means you play it over and over and over. So if for example I have trouble with pull off hammer on or something like that. Yeah, I play this. Yeah, and this is in a way difficult because it's like it comes in a passage, and I'm always stumbling over that. I don't know, like it sounds not loud enough, or it's messy, or whatever, you know. And then I can just go there and cycle it. So I just have these 2 or 3 notes, and I'm just cycling them. I play them over and over. you also have to consider, I mean, all these different practice methods, they really work together. And I just tell you now that you also have to consider like speed, different speeds, and also relaxation and slow and fast muscles. These are all important, but I come to that in a later lesson. I just want to focus on just one thing, yeah, one technique, one aspect. So to really get this idea, to make it really clear. Okay, so this cycling thing, now we reduced our task or this difficult passage to just these few notes, and we can just repeatedly always, like, you can just repeat this in a loop. So we cycle that. That way we use our practice time maximum efficiently. And also what we try, because we also, in a way, we reduced also the difficulty, because we not always play the whole thing and come out of that other passage and the whole thing is getting, in a way, confusing. We're just focusing on that one thing, and that also, in a way, makes it easier. So we can, by really isolating this task, we also made the whole thing a little bit easier, so that we actually quite soon, and that we were really striving for, to get that up to speed as soon as possible. Yeah, we will talk also about speed. That fast speed is not the same as sped up as you would speed up a slow speed. Yeah, it's we will talk about that. But So we try to bring it up to original speed, to the final speed, or even a little bit higher, more speed, so faster. Yeah, that's because we reduced it to such a small thing. We are sometimes we are really able to play that even quicker than the original speed, and that we really should do, and we should really work on that. That it will really sound great, that we have perfect control, that we are relaxed with this whole thing, and we can just play it in any speed. Yeah, that's a kind of criterium when you know something very good, that you can really play it at any speed and relaxed and so on. And also we will also talk about that, but also try to play not like forced and loud, better soft and controlled, and then you also don't tire your hand so early. Try not to tire your hand at all. I have to say that's really important. And one other thing, because it can be getting really boring in a way. We are playing the same thing over and over and over. The right attitude for that would be to not think repetition. To think more, every repeat is something new. Every repeat is a progression. So actually, because the learning takes place so quick, it's like you don't repeat anything. Yeah, you progress. So, and you can also, of course, you can vary this whole thing by really varying the speeds. Try to go up to the speed or even quicker, and then, but also to really slow down and really conscious about certain things and change stuff with your body. This is like this idea of exploring. Yeah, it's like like you're practicing in a way is exploring. It's exploration. Is there is a possibility of playing that very quick, very accurate, but I'm not there. I just know it. And the question is how to go there, how to come there, and the way is not mostly it's not straight and clear. Okay, I have to do it like that, and then I have it made. Yeah, I've got it made or something like that. No, it's a kind of exploration. You have to find out what you do with your body, how your pick, you hold your pick, how the hand moves, how hard you press the string and whatever. I mean, there are so many factors. At the end, it should be just a relaxed and thing, and you should just feel good, and that's the goal. Yeah. So, and sometimes it takes up to 10,000 of repetition to really learn something, to really internalize something, and to really learn a completely new kind of movement. So where you actually, your brain has to make new connections. Yeah. So like certain like coordination things, or like just certain kinds of movements you always do in a way the wrong thing, you don't get there, and so you have to do it in the right way, but that right way is not yet there. In a way, it's not in your brain, it's not these neurons or whatever are not connected yet for doing that. So it's a kind of a thing which will take time. That's what I mean with very difficult stuff. It will not come in that practice session. That's very, very important to not think like that. Oh, I have to do it. Yesterday it didn't work. Now it's not working again. It might take weeks, even months. Just think about this idea of like 10,000 times you have to repeat something. Then you can calculate this for yourself in a way to say, okay, it just needs maybe I can play the same thing in 3 times in 1 second, or 2 times or twice in 1 second. So 10,000 times would be equal such and such, and it's mostly not that much. Yeah, if you just take your like a practice session of maybe 10 minutes per day, and then take some weeks, but then you have it. Maybe it takes longer, but then it takes longer. I mean, it takes what it takes. So what can you do? It's just about having the right methods and really knowing what you're doing, and to use that everything like in an effective way that that's it actually. All right, so don't forget to download the PDF. There might be also some other informations which I didn't talk through, because I made this PDF, I made this text, and I try here in this lesson to just more tell you what my how it works, so to have another explanation in maybe other words, maybe some other aspects or other ideas, and I think that's better to have it more spontaneous, more fresh than just reading that and following that page, but to get the full picture and even a more complete picture than just the page. Get the page and download it. It's free, as I said. It's just get it. All right. If you like those lessons here on Guitar Academia, please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button to get notifications when a new video will be released. This is the case every week, so we will go on also next week with the next method, with the next aspect of efficient practice. So stay tuned. And you also can go down in the description below. There's a link to my website, hildenbrand.com. And then the Guitar Academia page, there's a button where you can also donate to support my work here on this channel, to get more involved. And I would be really happy about that. All right. Have a good time. Thanks for watching. My name is Hildenbrand.